Okay, guys, and we're back.
Another episode of Lonely Stoner Podcast, episode
Yeah.
31.
31.
We're back with another one. We're not gonna stop.
Nah, I'm never stopping, bro. We're getting got some motion now. Some of the things
getting some motion.
Getting some more views.
Young white boy got some motion.
Facts. Facts. But obviously, as you all know, or if you don't know now, you know, I'm Seth.
And I'm Evan.
What we talked about in the last episode, obviously,
mostly UFC.
All UFC.
Yeah.
And this episode might be quite similar.
Yeah, obviously we did a lot of the breakdowns of the fights we really care about last week?
Yeah.
In the most recent episode 30. So there isn't really too much to go on, really.
Yeah.
With that fight. I mean, we can talk a little bit about sort of the featherweight situation, as we were just talking about before, where Diego Lopez has been booked against Gene Silva. I think Gene Silva's ranked like number 12 or 13, and Diego Lopez is like number 3. So it's another one of those Piotr Jan, Marcus McGee type fights where nobody wants to fight anyone. So you have a guy like Lopez or Piotr Jan who will fight anybody. Get offered a guy like that and just accept it, because they just accept every fight they're offered.
Yeah.
And these are why I love these type of fighters.
Yeah, the facts.
That's why I really love the Diego Lopez's and the Piotr Jans and the Jose Aldos, because they just accept any fight put in front of them.
But it's almost like paradoxical where
it's a negative for sure, because they just get put into shit situations.
Yeah.
Where they're already ready to feed Diego Lopez to the next guy, and he's only just come on.
Literally, bro, it's crazy.
So they're already trying to feed him to Jean Silva.
And it feels like the guys who are willing to wait out and willing to say no are the guys who ultimately get rewarded with the title shots eventually.
Yeah, I remember years ago, like someone would have declined a fight. I would hear Dana, he doesn't want to fight. He just doesn't want to fight. What can you do? He doesn't want to fight. And I'm like, Dana, like, out him.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's like, like you said, those are the type of guys that are getting rewarded. So we've had Diego Lopez, who's become a fan favorite, had a very tough fight with Volk, lost, but it was a good fight. It was a tough fight.
Yeah.
And now he's booked against probably one of the craziest surging contenders right now in the UFC, Gene Silva.
Yeah.
Just brutalizing everybody. In his most recent fight, brutalized Bryce Mitchell. And now he gets a huge jump in the rankings. Where a guy like Lerone Murphy, he's winning back-to-back fights.
Yeah.
Big win streak, undefeated prospects, and he's in the UFC and he's not getting these type of matchups.
Yeah. Lerone Murphy's another guy like Evloev who he's going to be looking at getting a title shot soon.
He's on a huge win streak. I don't understand why he's not getting these sort of pushes. I understand the excitability about Jean Silva, but he's just beat a ranked fighter. Give him someone in that 5 to 10 range.
That's what the UFC does, though.
Yeah, it is what they do. It's a fucked way the UFC do it. But obviously, Lopez is fighting Gene Silva. It's going to be a banger.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great fight. I'm picking Lopez personally. I'm picking Lopez. I think he's. I do think theoretically Silva's better, but I just think Lopez got that dog in him.
What is it? Is it 5-rounder? Is the main event of that fight?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be a 3-rounder.
If it's a 3-rounder, I could see Diego Lopez just steamrolling him.
Yeah. Lopez is...
Comes to fight, G.
Oh, no, that's a main event.
Yeah, okay. That's something. It's the main event of that fight night, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so... I don't know if that even changes my answer. That might make my answer the same still.
You pick Lopez?
Yeah, low-key. Because
I like Lopez for this fight.
He got the gas tank. Even against Volk, even though Volk was, outstriking him and, showed in that fight that he just had the more experience and knew how to manage a fight better and manage distance and land his shots at will. Lopez was still in that fight.
He was in that fight for the entire fight.
He was still in that fight and was competitive. Like I said, Volk won the fight, not comfortably, it was competitive. But at the end of the fight, in my opinion, there was no question whether Volk won that fight.
I think going into it, we thought if Lopez were going to have success or be competitive, it was going to be scrappy, sort of flash knockdown type situations. But he was in there with Volk. He was going skill for skill.
Yeah, and also probably part of that prediction is based off thinking Volk's chin's deteriorated as well.
Yeah, of course.
Bad knockout to Islam, bad knockout to Ilia. now you're fighting Diego Lopez. Like, nah, bro.
It's
Fuck
fucking
that.
long.
Yeah.
He took a lot of good shots as well,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
makes Lopez even more impressive, because he was going with him, and he wasn't just
Yeah.
he didn't just knock him out or
Nah.
win that way. He didn't even win, but
Nah.
but
Didn't want
I
at all,
think
yeah.
you can come off of a fight like that with Volk having gaining a bit of stock,
Yes.
you know, because that's just how good Volk is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fight, no, I want Lopez to win as well, personally.
Do you? Yeah. Yeah.
I like Lopez a lot.
So what would they do
after a Gene Silver fight wise? Very, very exciting. Obviously, fighting, crazy knockouts, also submissions.
Yeah.
But the way he was after his last fight. He literally came out and said, "I'm not the only fight I'm taking is a fight that's going to get me a title fight," which is what he's got. To be fair, it's exactly what he's got. But I just don't like fighters that move like that.
I hear it, but I think so. What would they do? Would they do if they do Volk v Yair?
Which is, it seems like this is the only one they can do.
They do Volk v Yair. Then they do what's his name? The guy we were just talking about.
Evloev.
Not Evloev.
Diego Lopez.
Lopez and Gene Silver. And then they've got Evloev fighting. If Evloev beats Pico and Lopez beats Silva, then Evloev and Lopez should fight. And then the winner of that gets the winner of Volk and Yair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But that's never going to happen.
Because it makes sense. That's what will happen.
Facts. Yeah.
If Diego Lopez wins, he'll have to get another fight before they give him a title fight.
Yeah.
If Gene Silver wins, they'll give him a title fight.
Do you think? Yeah, they probably would.
They'll probably, even if Evloev wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because obviously Evloev's fight is much sooner. It's in at the end of July. He's fighting Aaron Pico on the Whittaker the Ridder card.
And then
co-main event.
Yeah, but then isn't the Noche card only in September? It's not that deep.
Yeah, I think that's when we don't have that's a fight night, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Gene Silver Lopez one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in September.
Yeah, it's not that different. Like them timelines.
It's about 3 weeks later.
Like, I wouldn't say I mean, in reality, they probably could both fight again before the end of the year, but they probably wouldn't. So let's say they fight Q1 of 26.
Yeah.
By Q3 or Q2 26, they should have the title fight lined up.
But it's just too easy for the UFC to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Way, you know.
Yeah. In WMMA, make that happen easily.
But you were saying you think Movsar will beat Aaron Pico?
Yeah.
So I've not watched Aaron Pico full fights. I've
Yeah.
seen all the highlights, and I even remember back in the day when he came on the scene, he probably only had about 5 or 6 pro fights, and he was being pushed big time.
Probably even less than that. Yeah.
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 But he's only 13-4 now.
Yeah.
But he has to still be fairly young, right? 28. So you can make the argument that it's only now he's going to come into his athletic prime. With all the experience that he's already got in wrestling and boxing.
That's true.
But his style-wise, he is very exciting. He has some very crazy knockouts. And if he were to get one of those crazy finishes over a guy like Movsar, that instantly puts him in the conversation. It definitely
does, especially because Movsar's streaking as well.
I don't know why I don't know if they're doing this with these Bellator guys just to show, look, they ain't that good. Like they did it when they gave Patchy Mixer a big ranked fight in his debut. Pitbull, they gave Pitbull top 5 opponent in his debut.
Typically, yes, but for this one, I just don't think they rate Movsar still.
You think that you think they're lining up Movsar to lose?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like if you're lining up Movsar to lose, you could give him a harder fight than that, probably. I mean, a guy in his debut is low risk, so maybe not. Because you could say to Movsar, your last win was against a guy making his debut. Why would we give you a title shot?
That's so big, bro. They're just
setting him up to fail.
They just hate him, innit? That's what I'm saying. They just hate him.
They just hate him. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Even Movsar is shit to watch. I can respect him.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'll just fight anyone.
Like at this point, yeah. You can respect it, innit?
I can respect Movsar.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They just hate him. That's why they're doing it.
It's understandable, though. But if they hate him that much, why wouldn't they just cut him like they cut Magaev?
No, the featherweight division is not that stacked still.
Like neither is flyweight though.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about flyweight. I meant featherweight, but flyweight's definitely. And okay, yeah, that's true. But what did man do? Did man do something?
Obviously, he did mad shit like got bitching to refs and that when he was pulling like cap shorts and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, Dana White just said something like, "Oh, we don't like working with him, so we're just gonna release him."
I mean, that's a bit mad.
But undefeated flight, like he was like 12 or 13-0 or something.
That's mad. Yeah, that is mad.
Like, and they just cut him.
Yeah, that is mad. Is he still undefeated?
Yeah. I think he's only had that one fight.
Oh, okay. Does he? I'm sure I heard that he fought in Rising or something. Maybe it's ONE FC or something.
Well, he was 23-0 in amateur MMA.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fights to have in amateurs.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but yeah, he's 15-0 with 1 no contest.
Fair enough.
His no contest was back in the day in Brave.
Bro.
But yeah, he's had 2 fights since.
Okay.
Against absolute nobodies.
Okay.
Both one in Brave and one at 971 FC.
Oh, okay, that's where I have that. That's where I seen him still on 971.
That was it was only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Never heard about that. But yeah. You beat a guy like Manel Cap and you just get released from the UFC. To be fair, like the way he beat him was shit, and the way he wins all his fights is kind of shit, but
yeah.
Even his submissions, like he lost them fights until he just got a submission in the 3rd round.
Mad.
But multiple fights. So, well, whatever. And I don't really care about him. But it just logically from the UFC, why would you do that?
No, I hear it. I do hear it. But the UFC hate Evloev, so
yeah, there you go. But yeah, the featherweight division, the way it's shaking up, it's a bit weird.
It is, but there is a way forward, though. Like I said, with those fights, they can line it up. There is a way forward.
I think the only reason why people kind of have it is because they don't mind seeing Volk get a bit of a layup, a layup title defense.
But this is also where, like, in boxing, it can be done better. Because if you're a world champion, say you're a WBC world champion, this guy's your mandatory challenger. You have to fight him or we're stripping you of the belt. That's it.
Yeah. But it's different in the UFC because obviously they're the only they're the only governing body of their own title. There's one title. And realistically, if you think about it, the title is like kind of it's semi less meaningless because like there's only one of them, if you know what I mean. Like it's in a weird way that's only gonna, I don't know how to put it into words. Like it's essentially just, I don't know how to explain it. That spliff has got to my head. But
I hear it. I
don't like the fact that there's like 4 or 5 of them in the division of boxing. Like there was two that would be quite cold.
Yeah,
because like you said, there might be a mandatory for that certain title. But obviously in MMA, there is no such thing as like mandatory. They kind of just put who they want in there.
Which is a
like
bad
you see
thing.
Like guys like, for example, Usman's title defenses, like Colby and Usman, potentially a couple of those weren't deserved.
Yeah,
like it kind of like makes it less meaningless as a title defense.
Yes,
it's just a mad roundabout way to put it,
but the fact that the UFC don't have like mandatory challenges is a bad thing because it just means they do what they want. Yeah,
that's kind of my point. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to get at. Yeah. They kind of just, it's not necessarily a title fight in the most common sense. It's not just whoever's number 1 is getting the title fight. No. That's not how it works.
No.
It's just whoever they kind of feel like they can.
And it's not, to be fair, it's not always like that in boxing, but it's like that a lot more in boxing than it is in the UFC.
Okay.
Because let's say I'm the WBC champion, I can't be ranked in WBA rankings.
Oh, really?
So if we've got enough money, we can pay both commissioning bodies to have a unification bout, which is when you're paying 2
all money,
companies
really,
instead of just paying 1. If I was just defending my WBC title, say I pay £100.
Yeah.
But now if I want to defend the WBC title and challenge for the WBA world title, I have to pay another £100
extra. Okay.
Because you're paying for 2 bodies, which is why you only see the big promoters doing the undisputed fights. You got to pay like 5 commissions, 5 governing bodies, just for the fight to take place.
That bread behind you. Need that. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, but obviously in terms of UFC, it's just one company, one belt. Yeah. So it's not really there's not really a need for them to work around the fights that they actually want to make. They just make them.
Yeah.
There's not. It doesn't. They don't like the rankings. Essentially, the rankings don't mean nothing.
No,
because it's about who's rising and who's declining.
And like I said, once you get to a certain point, it basically means nothing. Once you reach the top 10, the top 5, it basically doesn't mean anything.
Even when you deep it, like these sort of semi-older guys who might lose one or two,
Yeah,
like they're not fighting guys around their age, guys on losing streaks around their ranking.
Yeah,
they're just fighting guys who are coming up and younger guys who they're trying to feed them to.
Yeah.
Well, it's what I do with WMMA. Like I can't hate on it.
No, facts.
They're trying to get motion going for certain guys,
but they also leave these old guys in the rankings for way too long as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Way
Like, even like I look at a guy like Benil, like I'm thinking, why aren't there like all these ranked fights and everything? Benil hasn't fought in like 2 years.
Crazy.
Like, I'm not saying that it's his fault, but there are guys, bare guys like him in the rankings that just don't fight. For whatever reason it might be, injury, you got stuff going on, you don't need to fight, whatever the reason may be.
But I also think like the performance should be taken into account as well.
I think the mic turned off.
Oh, is it?
It's back on.
Okay, let's see what's.
No, it looks good.
Okay.
It looks like it's picking it up. I don't know. I just saw it flash red.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I remember guys like Vitor Belfort, like he was absolutely cooked. You know, he was getting fucked up every time he was fighting, right? And then somehow he was still like ranked for time.
Yeah, they tend to do that. They try to use like someone's name and who they used to be.
Yeah.
To essentially hold their ranking and not give new guys new rankings.
Yeah.
But instead, now we just got guys holding on to their ranking spots for way too long, to the point where it's just meaningless.
Yeah, of course. Especially when you're like, it's true. Until you're like one of these young guys that are coming up, then it starts to mean a bit more. But once you get to the top 5, it basically doesn't matter anymore because you can get a title shot.
I just ran out of battery, though.
Oh, is it?
I should still sound alright from yours.
Okay. I'll put more.
We've done it that way before. I think you can still pick me up.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
No, but these rankings, they're meaning less and less over time. Like, we got these older guys hogging their rankings. Like Usman being in the top 5 at welterweight for as long as he was.
Yeah.
I mean, without fighting.
Yes. Yeah, it's mad because really he should be fighting. But to be fair though, I'm hearing the amount of money he's making for those fights. I don't blame him for not fighting for time.
Oh yeah. To be fair, man probably does have like pay-per-view points and stuff like that when he got the title fight. That's probably might have been what his contract was more aimed towards.
Yeah.
And then he ended up fighting on a fight night. But even then, he might have like a gate percentage, or you never know what's really in his contracts. Yeah, he might be making more money from other stuff that's not his purse.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it's possible.
His fight purse might not be the only thing that the UFC are giving him.
Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. But this weekend there's a decent amount of boxing this weekend, though.
Is there?
Your guy Deontay Wilder's back.
Well, he's fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
Who's he fighting? Will I know him?
Nah, no one knows.
So is it like a layup for him?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
So Deontay Wilder's rubbed.
He's very rubbed.
Yeah.
And people, I don't know, people seem to have like short memories. Like, I think people forget how bad he's looked in like these past 2 fights against Joseph Parker and Zhang, the Chinese one.
Yeah.
These guys battered him, G. Like,
I think technically he's always been terrible.
Yeah. But like I said, like Tony Ferguson and Deontay Wilder are only 2 guys that I can remember seeing like technically getting worse over the course of their career.
Yeah. Like,
you see guys get slower, they can't take a shot, maybe they get weaker, but technically they don't get worse. Apart from Tony Ferguson and Deontay Wilder. I was saying, like, if this guy who he's fighting, Herndon is his name, if he has half a heartbeat and boxing fundamentals, he's got a chance of beating Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. But Wilder is, I mean, not only like losing some physical capabilities, the guy by getting older, he's probably in his like late 30s.
It must be.
So there's that, and also the fact that, like you said, he's just getting worse as well.
Yeah.
And he always, his entire career, he just relied on that one punch, that one big bomb. Because a lot of these heavyweights are pretty mid; they're just there to be hit, and they also rely on their own power. So, you know, it was a threat, but when you lose that power, you're never good enough to land that one.
Well,
you kind of just become a punching bag.
Yeah, that's basically what he turned into in the Joseph Parker and Zhang fight. If you look at his resume, his only good win of his career, only respectable win of his career is against the Luis Ortiz fights. Those were in 2019, G.
Yeah, a long time ago now.
6 years ago.
Because of COVID, time kind of condensed. And stuff doesn't feel like as long ago as it actually was. But fuck me, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And in terms of boxing, when you're in your 30s, that's a long, long time.
Yeah.
And he probably was like, I don't know how old he is. Let me find. I reckon he's about 37 or 38. So say he was in his early 30s.
Yeah.
In 2019, you're pretty much in the prime of your career as an athlete, and now you're in your late 30s. So,
well, hopefully, he would have got paid pretty nicely.
He's 39.
Yeah.
He turns 40 in October.
Damn. Well, that's why he needs to win this fight and get himself an AJ fight and sail off.
Yeah, if he can get a crazy knockout in this fight, it doesn't really matter who he's fighting. You know, people still remember Wilder from the Fury fights.
Yeah.
And
but only knockouts. You say that, but it's only really the first Fury fight because the other two Fury fights he got mollywopped.
Yeah, no, he did.
He got battered.
Yeah,
and that was probably another thing that's like pretty much one of those.
Even then, the one was
it?
Did they give it a draw or did they give Fury win with them? I think the first one was a draw.
First one was a draw.
I did think Fury won.
Yeah,
I think Fury pretty much won. Like, probably lost like 2 or 3 rounds out of all the fights.
Yeah,
but it was just that one. Again, that one bomb he's relying on.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
Yep, always been that way.
And if he can get a crazy knockout here, they can clip that. They can use it. Get him the AJ, because AJ's also fell off as well. So
yeah, but AJ, the thing is, AJ's not fallen off as much.
No, but AJ has always been and still is technically very.
Yeah, like fundamentally, that's the thing, bro. That's why I would always give, especially not always, particularly now, I would say AJ would beat Deontay Wilder.
Like, even if you look at the way AJ beat Ngannou, like, just didn't give him a chance, didn't respect him, used his boxing fundamentals, his range management, and knocked him out very easily. I think Ngannou versus Wilder would just be a very wild, sloppy fight until someone gets knocked out. They're probably in like 2 or 3 rounds. I'd give it like a 50-50 chance, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the fight.
Low key, that could be a good fight.
Maybe that's the fight.
Because Ngannou might get his boxing win, get a nice knockout, or if Wilder wins, then he can maybe even get another decent fight.
Then he can have the AJ fight.
Yeah.
If Wilder wins here, then beats Ngannou, he could get the AJ fight.
Low-key, that would probably make money as well.
Yeah.
The thing is,
it wouldn't make anywhere near as much money as it would have made in 2018.
No, of course not.
But still,
even the way we saw Ngannou get done by AJ, that was just...
But really, it depends on how they want to book AJ now. Because AJ's 36, we're going to do have him have tune-up fights. No, he's 36.
Can't have him fight nobody. Really.
That's it. He has to be in there against semi-respectable guys who have a serious chance of beating him.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm pushing for... It really depends. Because probably the biggest fight he could realistically get at the moment would be like a Joseph Parker fight. For like the WBO interim.
He's not fought Parker.
He has.
Yeah, he has.
He's beat him before. He beat him in a decision still. It was a pretty boring fight, I can't lie. It's pretty much like one of them fights where like Anthony Joshua was doing like a double jab cross and holding on and just hugging my man, and then it's one of them fights.
Yeah.
But Joseph Parker obviously since then has gone on to have a pretty good career, and he's I think WBA or WBO interim champion. So really Joseph Parker wants the Usyk fight.
Of course, as he should.
Yeah, as he should. But AJ might be pushing for a Joseph Parker fight, and Joseph Parker's thinking, well, this would be like a big event. This would probably wouldn't do it at the O2. No, probably would do the O2. Probably wouldn't do Wembley. It's a rematch. It's a big fight commercially. We might accept that, but depends because if AJ loses that, then
realistically Parker could just wait outright until they basically either strip or make him fight.
That's what he'll do.
So realistically, he could do that, but obviously, like you said, it'll be opportunity really more than anything. So make some money, get a win back. Yeah, and
could beat AJ at this point.
Yeah,
he really could.
But AJ is definitely.
I think he would.
He's deteriorating.
Yeah, and Joseph Parker, I think there's like this weird sort of not narrative, but like idea that he's not a big puncher. Dude can bang. Yeah. Like he's not monstrous like Daniel Dubois, But guys aren't walking through shots from Joseph Parker. Like, he stopped. He put Martin McCauley on his ass, bro. Martin McCauley's a big guy. Banged him top of the head. Legs went. He was done. That being said,
now, Joseph Parker, for a while, he's been one of the more respectable heavyweights outside sort of the world title picture. That big top class. But there's an opportunity now at heavyweight.
Yeah.
With Usyk, I feel like a lot of boxers feel like he's more beatable than other certain boxers, even though he's not. He's a smaller guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, Usyk, he's an older guy. He might even be retiring somewhat soon.
Ooh.
You got a lot of these Fury's retired.
Yeah.
A lot of these other big heavyweights are just on their down. So might be opportunity for him there.
We're hearing that from Usyk that he might have one or two more fights in him.
He's probably been making very, very, very good money for his last. Well, probably all his heavyweight title fights. He made very big money. The Fury fights, he obviously made huge money. AJ,
twice.
He's been making big money. He doesn't need to fight much more. And also legacy-wise, he's proven himself as probably one of the best higher weight class fighters of all time.
Yeah, undisputed at cruiserweight and undisputed at heavyweight and undefeated.
Yeah.
Beat everyone.
Beating all the top names as well.
Clean out the division, G.
Yeah,
everyone,
all the top names.
At the time, everyone who he could fight at the time at heavyweight, in terms of up-and-coming contenders, Usyk fought them.
And he beat Fury twice, didn't he?
Beat Fury twice,
and those wins are really good.
Yeah.
Those are premium wins.
Yeah. Outboxed AJ twice and Fury twice.
Yeah. No. If he were to beat Dubois again, and then get like another title defense and retire, I mean, you're looking at him in the top X of boxers of all time. I mean,
definitely. Oh, definitely. But what
undefeated, undisputed, a 2-weight class, beat all the top names of his era.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for, really?
What they need to do is they need to do a what's it called? They need to sign my man from Glory and do a boxing match with him.
Right. He would lose, but
yeah, he would. But just do it. Like, it's fun.
Why not? Innit?
Yeah, we're trying to have fun.
The thing is, guys wouldn't know who he is.
No, but they'll hype it up.
Yeah, no, as they should.
They'll hype
as they
it up.
should. And boxing can promote.
Yeah,
they can promote if they can do one thing.
Yeah.
And we know the UFC can't promote anymore.
No.
They just put on what they put on, and you fucking enjoy it. You fucking maggot fans. You fucking enjoy that.
I only found out you can't even buy tickets to Apex cards. I don't know why you'd want to.
So
but
why do they even exist? Then?
For real, like, what's the point?
No, I would rather be an Apex card than any other card. Though.
I hear
That's crazy, bro. Being that it's way more personal.
Yeah.
That's why when COVID hit, that was like the one positive that UFC was actually just cold.
Yeah, but you'd want to see.
And there was no reason for anyone not to fight anyone at all, really. Because there's no venues, there's no it's just every event's at the Apex. There's no bullshit. The only thing to really figure out is fight negotiations.
Yeah, but that can still be tricky.
Yeah, no, of course, that kind of sort of things. But COVID era UFC I loved it personally, and even the bubble was my favorite playoffs for NBA.
What about when you're watching like Fiziev throw like body kicks in the Apex?
Dirty, mate. Fucking dirty.
Imagine filming one of them.
I was actually watching a compilation of Apex knockouts.
Yeah.
And you can tell when it's like regular Apex, like now, or COVID Apex.
Yeah.
Because it's like the commentary team and like the shorts and the sort of camera work and stuff like that. But like something like even now, I don't like the Apex now though because it's just shit fights.
You
were getting like Poirier versus Dan Hooker and fucking Apex and world title fight.
I say, how's that Dan, isn't it?
Yeah. How's that Dan? You like that Dan? Getting huge fights in the Apex.
Well, back then, like my man said in Always Sunny, the Lord provideth, isn't it?
What was the Stipe versus DC fights? I think in the Apex. Holy moly!
Damn,
those are wars as well.
Is the Apex where they have the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's where they've been having the Ultimate Fighter all these years.
Yeah.
It's a small cage as well.
The thing is, I'll be watching it, but like I get fried and I just forget what happens in the Ultimate Fighter. 'Cause I don't care about any of these
the last
guys.
Ultimate Fighter I watched was the one where they gave the winner a title fight against Demetrius Johnson.
Oh yeah, probably
And
yeah.
Tim
Same.
Elliott won, and he's still out here ranked.
Yeah, but I just use him as like fodder to get fucked up on UFC 5.
Facts. He's one of them guys. Give DJ a pretty tricky fight, but there were bare guys on that Ultimate Fighter that are like the top guys now on flyweight. It's actually crazy. They're like Kai Kara France, Pantoja, Brandon Moreno, a couple other guys.
That's why I need to do more of them.
Oh, that's the best Ultimate Fighter ever.
Isn't this season flyweight as well?
I don't even know. This one's what is it? Chael and DC.
Yeah, it's welterweight and another weight division. 145, I think it is actually. I think it's 145.
I've not been tuned into that at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be watching it, but I'll be getting fried and forget what happens. So Deontay Wilder's coming back. Jake Paul's fighting Chavez Jr. That's this weekend as well.
That's this weekend.
Yeah.
Wow. What's going on this weekend?
There's a few fights on this undercard as well, the Jake Paul undercard. It's mad, but Jake Paul, he's putting on decent cards still. This is a decent card
I think
as far as boxing goes.
Seriously, because in boxing, once you start bringing certain money on a regular basis, they look at you and like, okay,
of course,
you can bring in money.
Yeah,
what it comes down to at the end of the day. You're gaining respect.
The thing is, you're thinking Chavez Jr., right?
Boxing his whole life.
Yes, but his last fight, he got stopped by Anderson Silva.
So he's going to get knocked out? When I saw that, I was like, oh, no, he's getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just a padded record.
But you say that, but you're like, Jake Paul had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury. Yeah. Do I think Chavez Jr. is better than Tommy Fury? Yeah, I do. I think Chavez Jr. is better than Tommy Fury.
But it's different.
It is different.
Tommy Fury is a young man.
Yes.
I don't think Jake Paul isn't just going to knock him out.
Apparently
but it's like if Jake Paul just throws on this guy and lands, he's probably going to knock him out.
Yeah.
And that is what he's going to do.
Yeah. Obviously, his last fight was, what's his name?
You're losing to Anderson Silva. I don't care, man. I saw Anderson Silva get absolutely brutalised by Uriah Hall in the Apex.
Oh, wow.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You think Anderson Silva fought in the Apex?
That's diabolical.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's cold, though. Vitor should have fought in the Apex, though.
You think he was not long gone?
I said, fucking hell.
He was gone by that point.
What about Lyoto?
Did he fight in the Apex?
I think he was in Bellator.